Hi, it's Michelle. Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Michelle and I make videos about books. If this is your first time seeing me, please subscribe. It really helps my channel grow. So, last week my video was the least popular books that I have read according to Goodreads, and for some positivity, we are doing the best books that I have read according to Goodreads. This list is a mess because there is one children's book which I I loved it, but I'm not gonna talk about like a cardboard book that is like 5 pages. However, I really liked it. Also, all of the Harry Potters are on here and I just don't feel comfortable talking about Harry Potter on my channel anymore. So we're gonna pretend like those don't exist. Otherwise, yeah, there is one series on here that I am going to talk about, and they are all like in the top 10, so I'm just going to talk about the series as a whole as like a number. So here we go. I'm sorry for this, it's a mess, so let me get my shit together. Also, there is one book on here that's in the top 10, but it hasn't been released yet, so these reviews are based on ARC readers alone and like the other people who give it 5 stars because they know they're gonna love it. I'm not gonna put that on there. Otherwise, I've got it together. Okay, so the first book, which is number 10, is Starfish by Lisa Flips. This book has a 4.51 rating and I gave it 3 stars because this is a middle grade about a girl who is overweight and her mother and brother and like her peers and everyone are so awful to her. It just felt a little unrealistic. I don't know. I don't have a daughter who is in middle school and is dealing with this, but unless I am completely blind when I was in school, I just don't know if it's realistic. And I read the author's note and the author said that this was based on their own experiences, and I don't want to diminish the author's experiences, but I also feel like it's fiction and it is over dramatized, and it like triggered me, to be honest with you. But do I think the message is good? Yes. Is it the most amazing middle grade or like book about bullying I have ever read? No. So I remember putting this on like currently reading on Goodreads, and I had a couple people message me and they're like, you're not gonna like this. And I was like, but the reviews are so good. And then I ended up not really liking it. So for me, it didn't work. But like, I understand if people love this one, so that's it. The next one is one that I read this year back in April, and that is, hold on, I have it, Project Hail Mary by Andy Weir. So this has an average rating of 4.52 and I rated it 5 stars. I listened to the audiobook based on a suggestion from Lexi from Books with Lexi. We actually buddy read this together back when we like had known each other like 2 weeks. She peer pressured me into reading this and it was amazing. My review for this is, am I a sci-fi girly? And I think I am. I read The Martian by Andy Weir, amazing. And then I went like straight into Project Hail Mary, amazing. And then I read Artemis by Andy Weir, awful. Do not suggest this one. But Project Hail Mary and The Martian are like amazing. And yes, there is science in it, but like it's dumbed down science. This one had a little bit more science than The Martian, but I still like was able to process still what was going on. Also, if you are into this, I do recommend the audiobook because of a character in this without spoiling anything. However, the audiobook is only available through Audible. So like, can you get a free trial? I don't know, but like it was so good and I want to reread it physically now that I know how it is in the audiobook, if that makes sense. So 5 stars. I believe it deserves its high rating. The next one, and a couple of them, are memoirs. And this year I decided to no longer rate memoirs, so I will not give you my star rating, but I will give you how I felt about the memoir in general. So this next one is Dancing at the Pity Party, a Dead Mom graphic memoir by Tyler Federer. This has an average rating of 4.53. So my Goodreads review is long. Let me read it. I feel like this would be very therapeutic if you were grieving someone and in parentheses I said, and I am currently am not luckily, close parentheses. So I didn't really connect to this probably like other people will. I thought it was funny though, and it definitely was funny. I believe this author's mom died in like, oh, I think it was like 2009 or something. And she said that like Gossip Girl was really popular back then. They all were wearing like weird headbands, which I 100% owned as well. So I thought it was funny. I thought the art was really beautiful in this, but like I said in my review, I personally have not experienced loss like this, luckily, so it was very hard for me to connect. Also, I am not a very big emotional person, so like it just, I felt nothing. I don't know, but I read other people's reviews where they were like sobbing, and then we read this for a book club, and I had a few people in my book club who were like, I don't think I can read this because it's too close to me. So like, it's very interesting all around. I highly suggest it if you maybe are grieving someone, because it will absolutely be therapeutic for you. Also, it's just beautiful. Like the art style is beautiful, so that's it. The next one is Stamped from the Beginning, the definitive history of racist ideas in America. And this is by Idram X. Kendi. And I listened to the audiobook of this. I remember it was at my old house and I was walking around the neighborhood and would listen to this. This has an average rating of 4.54. Here's my review. This was super dense for me and read like a textbook. Absolutely, it really did. I'm going to read the abridged version with Jason Reynolds and try this again. Absolutely. So it's not that I don't like nonfiction or that I don't think this is a topic that deserves my attention. It's just, it read like a textbook, which was really hard for me to follow sometimes, and I am no longer in school, so it just like I wasn't in the right mindset for this one. However, I enjoyed my time learning, which is all this book is about. So I absolutely recommend this one, and I understand why it has the high reviews, and I still haven't read the abridged version, which I will be doing soon because I think it's important, and I also love Jason Reynolds. So very excited for that. The next one on my list I don't have, and I'm actually really surprised about this one, and I'll let you know in a minute, but this is My Brother's Husband Volume 2. And this has a average rating of 4.55, and I gave it 4 stars, and that's because I loved the first one more. My review is still super cute, but not as soft as the first one, so I'm surprised that this, for me, in my experience with both volumes, had a higher rating, because I personally thought that the first graphic novel was better. And like I said in my review, I just felt like the first novel was softer. Like you come into this story and the brother's husband is learning about their culture, and I just like really liked it. The first one. The second one was a continuation, and he ends up leaving at the end one, and maybe that's what got people in their feels. I don't know. For me, I liked the first one better, so. This next one is also a graphic novel, and all 4 volumes are in like the top 10. So I decided to put them together, and I left one, and that is Heartstopper by Alice Oseman, and I am absolutely not surprised, especially with the TV series that came out. More people are picking them up and probably giving them 5 stars. But Heartstopper, this is volume 1. Heartstopper has an average rating of 4.55, and I rated this one and all 4 volumes 5 stars. So I have made it pretty known on all social media how obsessed I am with Heartstopper. I am not even kidding when I'm telling you that I have watched the series over 30 times. Like, it just became my comfort show that I needed. So that's fine. The graphic novels came out, I think in 2018, and I got them right away. And I know volume 4 came out earlier this year in the United States at least, and I just rave about these so much. I am so excited about the series and that people are picking them up because of the show that they love so much, and I am so excited that the show got picked up for 2 and 3 seasons. So I am a happy girl, and I just love that people love these because I get much joy out of these, and I have given them all 5 stars. So we love to see it in the top 10. I don't know what number I'm on. Like I said, this list is a mess. The next one is Asada and Asada and Autobiography by Asada Shakur. I know that I'm not rating like memoirs, but if I could rate a memoir, it would be 5 stars. This has an average rating of 4.58. I read this in college, I believe, for a gender and women's studies class, and I still have it. I have read it maybe twice, 2 or 3 times now. It is so enlightening. I love this autobiography so much. If you have not read it or you don't know who Asada Shakur is, I absolutely recommend you pick it up. She has been through some shit, and she is still alive. She is living in Cuba, and her story is wild. If you don't know anything about it, I highly suggest it. The part that like I always remember reading, and like I can like picture where I was in the like common room. No, what is that called? I don't know. We were in like the common building in college, but she was forced to have her child in prison, and they like shackled her, and I will always remember reading that scene. It's so powerful. So highly recommend that one. The next one is In the Wild Light by Jeff Zettner. This has a average rating of 4.58. I gave it 3 stars, but also this was back in the time of when I was a different reviewer. I think it would get a higher review, but my review is this. I love Jeff Zettner's writing. It's very descriptive without being too flowery. For some reason, this story just fell a little bit short for me. I haven't been able to enjoy a story from this author like I enjoyed his first book, The Serpent King. This one just didn't give me all the feels like that book did. So when I read The Serpent King, I cried. I finished it right before work, and on the way to work, which was a 4-minute drive, I cried the whole way to work. So that story really hurt me, and I haven't been able to feel like that in his other books. So although I did enjoy In the Wild Light, nothing compares to The Serpent King for me from Jeff Zettner yet, but I still gave it 3 stars, which I think is good. Also, it had a lot to do with poetry. And I don't know if I'm the only one who does this, but if poetry or like a song is in the book, my brain completely skips that paragraph and I just continue on. So let me know if I'm alone in that. The next one is a short story, and that is called The Houseplant by Jeremy Ray. This has a 4.58 rating, and I gave it 5 stars. I was asked to review this before publication, and I am so glad that I did. Here's my review. I had no idea what this was about when I picked it up, but I really love this little story and the writing. It put me in a really good mood, and it was the perfect length. So it is a short story, which I normally don't like, but this is a story about a houseplant that is like rescued by this woman, and something happens to the woman, and then like the family has to decide, like, are they gonna kill the plant or are they gonna like save the plant? I know it doesn't sound good the way I'm describing it because I describe books really badly. We know this. It's been 4 years, but this book is amazing. It's a short story. I'm sorry. I believe it's free on Amazon if you want to check it out. I just absolutely love this. So please, the last book on my list is another memoir, and I know I said that I don't review memoirs, but I read this one back in 2020 and I did review or rate this one, and I gave it 5 stars, and that is Know My Name by Chanel Miller. The average rating is 4.72, and my review is, this was one of the hardest things I ever listened to. Stunning. So Chanel Miller actually reads her own book, and if you don't know who Chanel Miller is, she is the woman who was raped by Brock Turner, or the Stanford swimmer dude, I forget what they called him, but this, like, she goes through, like, she wakes up in the hospital room and that's where it starts, and then she like learns what happened to her through other people because she couldn't remember, and like it goes through the trial. and like her mental health during and after and before and everything. I hate to say that I love this book because of what it is about, but I love this book and I am so glad that she wrote it because holy shit. If you haven't read it and you can endure all of those triggers, I absolutely recommend it. But like also it is super, like she goes into detail about depression and her sexual assault and the aftermath and just like everything. So please look up the triggers for that one. However, one of the best books, memoirs, anything I've ever read, and I do recommend the audiobook for that one. So these are the best books that I have read according to Goodreads. A lot of memoirs, which I absolutely understand. I'm very surprised about Project Hail Mary being a sci-fi after Artemis absolutely fucking sucked. And of course, my personal favorites on this list is being Heartstopper and Know My Name. So I am really happy with this list. There are some that like I personally did not agree with, like Starfish and In the Wild Light, but that is a me thing. Not every book is going to be for every person. So thank you so much for watching my video. See you on my next one. Bye!